to second part of Introduction to Pneumatic System. In this second part, we will see the actuators. First of all, we will see what is meant by actuators. Actuators are the mechanical device which converts the hydraulic energy or pneumatic energy into the mechanical energy, which is gives the output. Now let's see the classification of actuators. Actuators are classified into two categories: linear actuators and rotary actuators. Linear actuators are subclassified into three parts: rotating cylinder, second is non-rotating cylinder, third is special type cylinder. In non-rotating cylinder, it is categorized into two subclass as single acting cylinder, double acting cylinder. And in special type cylinder, it is categorized into five types. First is diaphragm cylinder, second is tandem cylinder, third is double rod end cylinder, fourth is telescopic cylinder, fifth is cylinder with cushioning. Another type of actuator is rotary actuators, which is subclassified into two main categories: limited rotation and continuous rotation actuators. In limited rotation actuators, it is subcategorized into two parts: vane type and piston type. In continuous rotation actuators, it classified subdivided into two parts based on unidirectional motors, bidirectional motors. Second is based on construction. It also subdivided into three parts as gear type motor, vane type motor, piston type motor. Now let's see the classification in briefly. The figure shows the rotating cylinder. Rotating cylinder in which the cylinder is rotated. Here the ports A, B are the two ports in the casing. When compressed air is inserted from the port A, it gets filled into the actuators, and the compressed air gives the pressure back or forward direction to the pistons. So the piston moves in the forward direction, while the fluid present already at another part at the B is removed from the port B, which act as a outlet. In this, when this situation wants reverse manner, we connect the port B to the input, so the piston gets reverse back. Second is single acting cylinder. This type of cylinders are used only for the forward direction. Single acting, it works only in single direction. When we want only forward direction or only power stroke, then single acting cylinders are mainly used. The direction control valve is directly connected to the actuator's inlet. In this, there is no any kind of outlet or second port to the actuator. Either of second port, there is a spring which is compressed and released as per the pressure of the air. When the pressure air is inserted into the cylinder, the piston moves in forward direction. and the spring gets compressed. So the stroke is completed. When the stroke length is completed and the back pressure is reduced, the piston moves automatically towards the original position due to the release of the spring. So, in this, only forward stroke is controlled, not backward stroke. The below figure shows the symbol of single acting cylinder, which is having only one port and spring. Another figure at the right side shows the double acting cylinder. Double acting cylinder are used for forward as well as reverse stroke. To control the both stroke, the double acting cylinders are used. The casing contains two ports A and B. When A acts as an input, B acts as an output. When at the return stroke, B act as an input while A act as an output. When the pressurized air is inserted from the port A, the pistons starts moving in forward directions and the application or the force is performed or any kind of job is performed in forward direction. When we want that the piston in backward direction or reverse direction in within the proper manner or in restricted manner, then the port is connected to B while port A is connected to the tank. When the flow starts inserting from the port B, the piston gets back or in reverse manner towards the port A, and the oil or the air filled in the A is removed from the port A. The symbol of double acting cylinder is shown at the bottom figure. Next is the diaphragm cylinder. Diaphragm cylinder are same as that of the regular actuators. When the pressurized fluid is inserted from the input port, the pressurized fluid gives the pressure on the diaphragm. Due to pressure, diaphragm is pushed in forward direction. So the piston which is attached to the diaphragm gets forward direction. As diaphragm gets in reverse direction, when pressure is reduced, the piston comes to its original position. So this is the working of diaphragm cylinder. In simple way, diaphragm cylinder we can say that as a rubber band is released after taking the pinch, it gets back to original position. At same manner, diaphragm cylinder is worked. Double rod end cylinder. This type of actuators are having double rods to the piston in the both directions. These type of actuators are used when there is less amount of space or congested space. When we want in both the direction in within the less space, the double rod end cylinders are used. Next is tandem cylinder. Tandem cylinders are continuous cylinders. In this, there are two compartments, which first compartment contains the one piston. In the second compartment, the another piston is there, but the two pistons are connected with single rod or single shaft. The tandem cylinders are used when we want the double of the force as of the single acting cylinder. In first cylinder, when pressurized air is filled in first compartment, at the same time in second position or in the compartment of C, same amount of fluid or air is inserted. So the piston from compartment A and B gets forward direction with double force, and the reverse stroke is also in the same manner. So here we can say that tandem cylinders are the cylinder which are used for fast operations or quick operation in forward direction. Second diagram shows cylinder with cushioning. Cushioning, we have to understand what is meant by cushioning. Cushionings are the supports. When piston rod gets back to its original position, the cylinder ends are get strikes with the head of the cylinder, due to which there is wear of the cylinder piston rod. To avoid this, cushioning of the piston rod is used. The cushioning adjustment screw is used to avoid the striking of piston rod with the head wall. Due to cushioning, the piston rod gets reduced speed at the moment of when it comes back to its original position. In this, the O-rings are used to reduce the speed of the piston rod. Next type of cylinder is telescopic cylinder. Telescopic cylinders are nothing like telescope. It is mainly this type of telescope cylinders are used in limited space to increase the length of the stroke. Telescopic cylinder has large amount of forward stroke. In this, one cylinder contains number of small cylinder inside it. When cylinder first part is released, after that second part is released, and after that third part is released. Means we can say that in sequence manner one part is released, after that second. So it gets narrowed and the stroke length we get large amount or get lengthy. The diagram below shows the telescopic cylinder symbol. In actuators, we require cylinder mountings. There are various methods of mounting, as tie rod, extended, square flange, rectangular flange, legs, turnion, end angle, cap and fix, Kelvin cap and fix eye. These are the some kind of mountings. Next is rotary actuators. In rotary actuators, first is vane type. Vane type is nothing but the rotary in which a body is having a vanes on its block. A cylinder block contains various veins on its circumference. When the pressurized fluid or air is inserted from port A, the vein gets starts to rotate in clockwise direction. As their axes are different, the body and the cylinder block are having eccentricity in their axis, so the difference between the cylinder block and the casing creates the vacuum, and that vacuum is generates the pressure. Second type is piston type, or we can say that rack and pinion type. In this, the pressurized fluid is inserted from the port A, which is supplied in the both sides with from the small tubes. The piston from the both side gets contracted or comes closer to each other. When at the center the rack and pinion arrangement is performed or made. When the pistons come closer to each other, the rack and pinions are gets worked and the pressurized fluid is given out from the port B. Next type of is external gear motor. The casing contains two external gears which are having teeth on its circumference. The one gear is driver gear and another is driven gear. The oil from the inlet is sucked from the tank due to rotation of this gear. Due to rotation, at the input, the vacuum is generated. This vacuum created sucks the oil from the receiver, and this oil received is given to the outlet due to the rotation of this external gear. Next is radial piston motor. In this, the various hollow pistons are used with the spring returns. The oil from the tank is inserted into the radial piston motor. The springs which are having in the hollow pistons gets the oil, and due to rotation it creates the suction at the inlet. Due to suction, the oil is sucked into the motor and it given to the high pressure out due to eccentricity or gap between the wall outer casing and the center cylinder or fixed cam. Next is the G rotor motor. G rotor motor having odd number of G rotors, or we can say globes. The outer casing has extra one globe G rotor than the inner G rotor. Inner G rotor is connected to the shaft which is rotated by the prime mover. When G rotor moves, the suction is created and the oil is trapped into the outer G rotor's gap. This gives the high pressure and it's given to the outlet. Next is the vane type motor. Vane type motor is having the various vanes which are acting like a spring. When there is compression, these vanes get compressed, and when there is more space, the springs get released with the help of springs. The compressed oil is inserted. The, o- the low pressure air is inserted into the inlet, which gets sucked due to the rotation of this vane. The inserted or sucked air is compressed due to the unsymmetrical or due to eccentricity of axis of cam and the casing. The high pressure air is given out from the outlet. Next is axial piston motor. This type is which is having axis in the same manner, or we can say in the same direction. The shaft is in the horizontal position with the piston and the cylinder. Here a swash plate is used for the creating the pressure. The swash plate is an inclined plate which is normally having angle or angle of 40 degree. It can be varied the angle as per the requirement. When the swash plate rotates at the bottom, the pistons rods are connected with the ball arrangement. Due to the angle, the various positions of the pistons get changed. Due to these variations in the positions of the pistons, the pressure is created in the cylinder block, and this block pressurized oil is given out from the outlet. Now let's see the material used for the pipes. In this, the rigid pipes are made of cast iron, low carbon steel, alloy steel, stainless steel, copper and its alloy, or sometime aluminum and its alloy. Second type of is flexible houses. Flexible houses are made up of nylon braided house, steel wire reinforced rubber houses, polyurethane tubes, nylon tubes, polythene tubes, PVC tubes, polyethylene, etc. And last is according to their strengths, these are as standard pipes which can be in short form STD. Second, extra strong pipes which are denoted by XS, and last is double extra strong pipes which are very strong pipes, it is denoted by XXS. The flexible houses has various coatings. The outer is called as cover, which is made up of polyethylene. The second layer is reinforcement, which is made up of ONM braid. Third is the adhesive layer, which is of rubber. Fourth layer is reinforcement, made up of metal wire, and the last and the inner layer is of tube, which is made up of polyethylene. Here we see the types of fittings and their applications. Male connector, its application is this fitting is used to connect the pipes and tubes to the threaded holes of the manifold. Second type of fitting is female connector. Its application is this is used to connect the pipes, tubes to nipple with external threads. Third type of fitting is T. This fittings is used to connect the three pipes. Fourth fitting is cross. This fitting is used to connect four pipes. Next type of fitting is elbow. Elbow is used to have sharp right angle turn in the pipeline. Next type of fitting is 45-degree elbow. 45-degree elbow are used to have sharp 45-degree turns in the pipelines. Another type of fitting is bend. This fittings is used to have long radius curved right angle turn in the pipeline. Next type of fitting is reducer. This type of reducer are used to connect two pipes of different diameters. Next is double nipple. This fitting is used to connect two pipes having internal threads. And the last is plug. The plugs are used to close the ports. Now let's see the classifications of seal. Here first of all see what is meant by seal. Seals are nothing but the packings. Classification of seal is made into three types according to method of sealing. In this, first is positive seal. In positive seal, perfect seal, 100% leak proof. In second is non-positive seal, in which allows small amount of leakage. Second type of seal is according to application. In this, there are two subcategories. First is steel seal, which is used between the mating parts having no relative motion. Example, sealing between the flange, gasket, etc. Second is the dynamic seal, which is used between the mating parts with relative motions. Example, rotary motion seal between pumps, shaft and casings. The last is according to the shape of configuration. There are various shapes like O-ring, quad ring, T-ring, V-ring, U-cap, hat ring, etc. Thank you.